The Moon Custodian. There's a job you probably haven't heard of, not because it's new or secret, but because it only exists in the quiet moments between thoughts. It's called the Moon Custodian. Not janitor, not cleaner, not manager. Custodian, the keeper, the watcher, the one who stays when no one else does. You can't apply for it. The moon chooses you. It doesn't ask for a resume or references, just a certain softness behind the eyes, a calmness in the way you wait for water to boil, even if you're not thirsty. That's how it found Marianne. She was 43, lived alone, and cleaned windows for a hotel no one ever reviewed. Her life was exactly medium. She had 3 plants, 2 cardigans, and 1 radio that only played jazz from the 1970s. Nothing exceptional, but the moon isn't looking for exceptional. It's looking for quiet. One evening, Marianne stepped out to take her trash, and the moon looked especially dusty, as if it had been rolling through the attic of the universe. She didn't think much of it. She just squinted and said, "Well, someone should do something about that." The next morning, there was a note in her pocket, written in pale silver ink. "Report at dusk. Bring a cloth and an open mind. M." She didn't ask how the note got there. She didn't call anyone. She just nodded and folded it like a to-do list. That night, Marianne stood by her balcony in her second-best slippers. The sky yawned open. A staircase appeared, made of polite starlight, and she climbed without question. The moon greeted her not with words, but with a gentle hum, like a cat purring in a library. It was massive up close, not glowing, not cold, just there. Round. Tired. She touched it carefully. It felt like old parchment and warm marble, and yes, dusty. The moon gave her a cloth. She began to wipe in slow, gentle circles. Not to make it shine, but to make it feel seen. As she worked, memories bubbled up, not hers, but the moon's. She saw the first wolf that howled at it, a child in 1347 who thought it was a hole in the sky, a sailor who whispered secrets to it during storms, all stored in the dust. She wiped, and the moon softened. Not brighter, just lighter. Time on the moon isn't like time on Earth. You don't count minutes, you count breaths. Marianne didn't know how many passed, but eventually the cloth grew still in her hand, and the moon made a sound like, "Thank you." Not in words, just the idea of gratitude. It tucked the memory of her touch somewhere beneath its craters, and the staircase returned. Back home, Marianne didn't feel different. She still cleaned hotel windows, still listened to jazz. But once a week, always at dusk, the note returned to her pocket. "Report tonight. The southern ridge is sulking again." She never told anyone. Not because it was a secret, but because some things only make sense in silence. Years passed, then decades. And still she wiped the moon. She got older, slower, but never tired of it. Until one night the cloth didn't appear. Instead, the moon hummed a lullaby. And Marianne understood. It was time to sleep, not just for the night, but fully, softly, kindly. She lay down in her bed. The radio played one last jazz tune, and the moon shone just a little more tenderly that night. Now the moon waits for the next custodian. Maybe you felt it. The dust, the longing, the quiet call that tucks itself into your dreams. If you ever wake with a silver note in your pocket, don't be afraid. You don't need experience. You just need softness and maybe a